This is Nightline. Tonight, murder on Lover's Lane. The young couple out on a summer date night when the unthinkable happens.
Houston police have an especially gruesome double murder on their hands this evening.
A brutal crime that shocked the community.
It caused a reign of terror.
Unsolved for more than 3 decades.
Then there's a break in the case.
May he rot in hell.
Plus, son of New Orleans, John Batiste, the Oscar, Grammy, and Emmy-winning musician known for hits like Freedom.
When I move my body just like this, I don't know why, but I feel like freedom.
Is all about the music.
I wake up and I hear music and I feel music, and it's everywhere. It's the sound of life.
Releasing not 1, but 3 albums this summer. A song from one of them, Black Mozart, dropping this week. He's one-on-one with ABC's Linsey Davis. From ABC News headquarters in New York, this is Nightline. Good evening. We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm Deborah Roberts. We begin with a possible answer to a decades-old murder mystery in Texas. A young couple on a summer date night on a Lover's Lane when their lives were brought to a brutal end. The crime going unsolved for more than 30 years until DNA evidence broke the case wide open.
Andy Atkinson grew up in North Carolina. He was a good-looking jock.
We just grew up together. He was a brother to me. You know, we were cousins, but we were 5 months apart. I looked up to him and tried to emulate him, but it was difficult to do.
I said, here's Andy doing a gainer. Hold on.
I already did it. Yeah, I just did it. Live, in person.
He had a lot of friends. He just wanted to be a model, was what he wanted to do.
Here's Andy doing another gainer.
Yeah, he was a really handsome guy.
I think Andy was looking for a fresh start and really didn't know what to do with his life. And an easy, sensible move for him would to move to Houston to be closer to his father, spend time with his dad, and get a fresh start.
Cheryl Henry was living her best life. It was 1990, and she was just enjoying everything that it meant to be a young woman. She was beautiful, big, beautiful, blonde hair, just a stunning woman who really loved life.
So growing up, I think the sisterly love, I looked up to her so much, so I wanted to be everywhere she was. So I was like, they used to call me Little Cheryl. I followed her around everywhere, so of course I was a nuisance. As we got older, we got really, really close and we're best friends.
So I introduced Cheryl and Andy together because Andy's friend at the time, Craig, was my boyfriend at the time. And they met at the gym.
They just instantly hit it off. I could tell she really liked him. They were smitten.
So the plan was Cheryl's sister Shane was going to pick Cheryl up. They were going to go together to this dance club, very popular place, Bayou Mama's in Houston. And Andy was going to meet up with them.
Cheryl and I got there first, and then Andy showed up about half an hour later. We're just hanging out, you know, they were having some drinks. I was tired, so I decided I was going to go home.
Cheryl wanted to stay longer, so Shane left. And the plan was to talk the next morning. Sometime around midnight, they got into Andy's car, and Andy drove to a place known as Lover's Lane here in Houston.
Cheryl and Andy parked the vehicle there. Back in that day, there wasn't much around it. I mean, it was kind of undeveloped land, if you will.
So it was an ideal place for young lovers to go parking.
The next morning, I went to go pick her up from work, and she's not there.
Shane called me and asked if I had seen or heard from Cheryl. She didn't show up for work, and that's when I think some of the panicking started.
And it wasn't until a security guard the next day noticed, hey, this car's been parked here for an extended amount of time, who then called authorities.
Houston police have an especially gruesome double murder on their hands this evening. The victims, a young couple who went out on a date and never came home.
I believe they were probably kissing, not really paying attention to what was going on outside the car. I believe they were approached by the suspect who had a flashlight, pretended to be a police officer.
The suspect was not only known to impersonate police officers, but also known to keep a blue steel revolver and handcuffs. About 150 yards from where Andy's white Honda CRX is parked, that's where the couple are taken, behind a barrier of trees.
I personally believe that Andy was taken to his location first. That's possible by having control with a pistol. Sat down on the ground, legs spread, his back to a tree, and a rope was tied around his neck and around the tree itself. And Andy's hands were tied behind his back. And then the suspect took Cheryl off to the different location, which was at least 100 yards back to the south. We know that Cheryl's hands were tied behind her back. We know that Cheryl's dress was ripped off. She was sexually assaulted, her throat slashed. So ultimately the suspect left the cul-de-sac, drove away, left the car abandoned, left Cheryl and Andy both dead, tied up and murdered. Friday, August 24th, 1990, I arrived at work to go to view the autopsy of Cheryl Henry. It was obvious that she'd been sexually assaulted. There was substance, looked like it may have been semen.
In 1990, there's no national database to see who this DNA belongs to. For years, this is a cold case going nowhere fast. Then there's a break in the case, and law enforcement really starts moving towards finding their guy.
In 2007, I get a call from a lieutenant from the homicide division, said, Billy, we've got a new DNA hit on the Lovers Lane case.
Back in 2007, they started testing these old rape kits, and lo and behold, we got a hit between the Lovers Lane case and a sexual assault that had occurred 2 months prior to the Lovers Lane case.
A DNA sample from someone who was raped just months prior to Cheryl Henry being raped and killed finds a match. It's the same person.
Same person, but police don't know who that person is.
I felt like the DNA was the clue that would clear the case.
My name is Samantha Connect, and I'm the Division Chief of the Cold Case Unit at the Harris County District Attorney's Office. My current assignment is to oversee our old cold cases and hopefully file them and bring them to court. One of the cases that a homicide detective dropped off to me was the Lovers Lane case. Houston Police Department received a tip back in 2020, and they looked at it. The tip was very precise about the identity of the person. And when I ran his criminal history, I remembered he checks a lot of boxes for me.
Someone did call in a tip. It was not specific to the crime. It was more the nature of, I knew this person during that era. The guy creeped me out. He has a very interesting criminal history, and I think you guys should take a look at him.
Fast forward now to late 2025, and we start looking at the case with a fresh set of eyes.
I realized that even though he had been to prison, his DNA was not entered into the database. I wanted to definitely get a DNA sample from him, but in my research I found that we already had one, which was from a 1996 sexual assault case where he had actually been arrested and charged, but the kit from that case had never been fully processed.
In 1996, an exotic dancer is sexually assaulted, and the police do a forensic examination, gathering DNA of the assailant. The case is given to the grand jury, and the grand jury does not file charges.
And the thing was, back then, the way he got away with it is he claimed that it was consensual. And so that's one of the reasons why we knew it was his DNA, because he admitted that it was his DNA.
So think about it. For all these years, decades in fact, 1996 to 2025, you have this untested DNA sample that prosecutors and police know is a spot-on match for the defendant. sitting there untested in the evidence room at the Houston Police Department, just waiting for somebody to go in and process the rape kit.
And Sergeant Burrow said, you know, I think there's a chance that that old rape kit might still be in our property room. What do you think? And I said, you should absolutely submit that to be tested. And so that's what he did.
So we went and submitted the kit to have it processed fully.
Houston police have 3 significant cases with a lot of DNA evidence. It's the sexual assault in June of 1990. Just 2 months later, in August of 1990, the sexual assault of Cheryl and the murders of Cheryl and Andy. And then in 1996, there is another sexual assault with DNA evidence that's been preserved. 30 years later, the DNA in those 3 cases are connected and lead back to one man.
It's a bombshell development in one of Houston's most notorious cold cases. Police say they have finally solved a brutal double murder after 36 years.
For much more on this case and how it was cracked, watch Evil Found Them, the Lover's Lane murders, now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu. When we come back, Linsey Davis goes one-on-one with freedom singer Jon Batiste.
When I move my body just like this, I don't know why, but I feel like free.
Welcome back. Jon Batiste is a true music man with a boatload of awards, from his Oscar-winning score for the animated movie Soul to his 8 Grammy Awards. Well, now the son of New Orleans is dropping a new song this week in honor of Juneteenth, with much more to come this summer. He's one-on-one with ABC's Linsey Davis.
Hey, good to see you. How are you?
All right.
He's an Oscar, Grammy, and Emmy Award-winning musician. Jon Batiste composes, writes, plays, and sings.
When I move my body just like this, I don't know why, but I feel like freedom.
Former Late Show band leader. Son of New Orleans, and part of a musical dynasty. He's an artist who refuses to be put in a box. This summer, he's out with not 1, but 3 new albums. A song from one of those albums, Black Mozart, drops this week in honor of Juneteenth.
It's the first studio I recorded in New York.
Is that right?
This room, particular Studio B.
We caught up with Jon at Power Station Studios in New York City, a place with special meaning to him, for a look back at his roots and how they've gotten him where he is now. I'm ready to go if you are, Mr. Batiste.
Oh, yeah. You see that?
You have inspired me as you're playing these notes, and you have famously said a number of times, including in your Oscar speech, that we all have 12 notes with which to play music.
God gave us 12 notes. It's the same 12 notes Duke Ellington had, Bach had. It's the same 12, Nina Simone.
We all have 12 notes with which to play music.
That's the 12.
How are you able to do so much more with the 12?
I love them. I love the 12. They're a part of me. I feel it every day. I wake up and I hear music and I feel music, and it's everywhere. It's the sound of life. It's everything.
So you have not 1, not 2, but 3 studio albums coming out this summer alone. Let's start with the first one, Black Mozart. I heard you talking about it and saying that you reimagine Mozart as black. That is rich. Let's start with what inspired that.
What if Mozart was black and born in New Orleans, in the vessel that spirit, the great spirit of music of Mozart, entered into a body that looked like mine, hands like mine, experiences like growing up in New Orleans and learning from the great Alvin Batiste and Ellis Marsalis and studying the history of things that he wasn't around for. I wondered what that would sound like if he was black. And not from the perspective of taking anything away, but we're adding to the continuum of human creativity.
Those next two albums, both inspired by Thelonious Monk. Why 2 albums? One wasn't enough?
Thelonious Monk is my favorite pianist, my favorite in many ways. He had a lot of philosophical things that he would say that really helped shape my understanding of music. One of the things he would say all the time was, the genius is the one that's most like themselves. I love that because it speaks to the idea that everybody has their own brand of genius within them to the moment of you being born, and that creates something special within you that only you have and only you possess, and you only can see the world in that way.
Many thanks to Linsey. You can watch her full interview with John Batiste on All Access with Linsey Davis, streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu. Coming up, former President Obama reflecting on his legacy as his presidential center opens, what he sees as his greatest accomplishment. Many have been waiting for this one. Finally, former President Obama's presidential center is officially open on Chicago's South Side. He and former First Lady Michelle Obama sat down for an exclusive interview with ABC's Robin Roberts. The president reflecting on his legacy and what he's most proud of from his 2 terms in office.
What do you consider your greatest accomplishment?
Look, there's a lot of stuff I'm proud of. For all the resistance from our political opposition, the Affordable Care Act has now helped 50, 60 million people and continues to help people, even though the current Congress has tried to weaken it and taken away some of the subsidies that were really helping a lot of working people. The thing I'm probably the most proud of is the tone we set. I'm very proud of the message we sent to the country that we're representing everybody.
You can catch Robin's extended interview, The Obama Legacy, now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu. That's Nightline for this evening. Happy Juneteenth. Thanks for staying up with us. Good night, America.